everybody, this is Smashing Game Time. I am your host, Nick. We are three brothers. Yes, three brothers. We go through the back catalog of the years. Today we're doing 2009 Q1, and it was it's okay. It's an okay year.
Nick, I got this.
Okay, all right.
2009 sucks ass.
That very prolific vocabularyist is Jakey Boy Kaufman next to me.
That's me.
And then next to him is his twin,
Josh.
Yes, his twin, on the field and in his heart, Josh.
And also, technically, only the majority of 2009 sucked. There are still some hidden gems in 2009 that we have to appreciate and, bring up into conversation, of course, because it led to some of the greatest things that we have in modern times. So,
as always, folks, you can find us anywhere that you get your podcast. If you haven't already, drop 5 stars and also write a review on Apple Podcasts. You can also do that on Spotify now, apparently. If you haven't already, get to typing or else I'll type it for you. Yeah? Yeah?
Well, but Nick, but before we begin, though, it's a very special day that we have to give a shout out to all the wonderful mothers out there. Of course, it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to those that have given birth to all of us.
Josh is
I'm a mother lover. You're a mother lover.
Well,
we should fuck each other's mother.
I mean, yes, the one song we can't rap with each other because we all share the same mom, so that'd be weird.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
This read by Josh is brought to you by flowers.com. If you're hearing this now, it's too fucking late. That I wish they would run that ad on Monday morning. I wish flowers.com would be like, oh, let's just fuck with everybody. Hey, did you forget to buy your mom flowers, you stupid dumb fucking bitch? Buy them today.
There's like
at a discounted price.
I bet there's like some type of dating site called like Hot Moms or something.
I'm sure there is. There's like a mom-centric website.
So, Nick, I'm pretty dumb, and tell me what this is, because you say it all the time, and I forget what you call it. The phrasing that you use that brings up your top searches and stuff. What's that called?
That is search engine optimization.
Okay, so what's the one we talk about all the time? We're being it's something that's brought up in conversation at the moment. You know what I mean? I can't think of the wording, but SO. Maybe
SEO, search engine optimization.
Oh, it is. Okay, that is it. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, whatever. I almost had a great joke, but seeing as we're going through some troubling times, I'm refraining from saying it. If that
yes,
gives
please.
You a hint of it.
If it's anything like the jokes you've made off the pod, please.
Yes, I'll save it for after, of course.
Save our ears. Please save our ears.
If you join our Patreon, you guys can hear the joke.
Patreon.
I know where you're going with that. I'm gonna cut you off right there. Can we cut his mic? Jimmy, can we cut his mic? Okay, good.
Who the fuck's Jimmy?
Jimmy's my intern that I hired and didn't tell you guys. What's everybody? So before we get into Q1 2009, what has everybody been playing this week?
No, Jay, go ahead.
All right, so I've been playing, just Brawlhalla. I had a tournament today. I didn't do so hot, but we're still gaming. We're still going. And then your classic TFT. New set comes out in 4 weeks.
Gross.
So I've been playing Deus Ex: Mankind Divided because I just found out. I think it was earlier this month, May 2nd, that Square Enix sold the Deus Ex rights and everything, IP, to another company.
The Embracer Group.
Yeah.
So is Mankind Divided the first one or second one that they did?
So
it's the newest one.
That's the second one they did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was a little disappointed in that, and I was just maybe really nostalgic and want to play it. Because I absolutely love the universe. It's fantastic, and I love Jensen. He's a fantastic character. And then Matt, actually, this morning, and I've been really hooked into it, trying to play it today, brought me onto this new game. It's an alpha called Marauders.
He called me this morning. He was playing that.
Yeah. So it basically Escape from Tarkov, and a post-apocalyptic 80s, 90s setting with space travel, basically. You start off the match starts, you're in your own little ship, and you're trying to either board other ships or board the main thing in the middle and basically loot everything. It's honestly a lot of fun.
You said 1980s and it made me think of Metro automatically, but maybe the Russian connection was making me think Metro.
So yeah, it kind of has it because the weapons they have are like the MP40, the Luger. It's very old style weapons, and it says it's set in 1988. I think it's what's the year it's technically set in, but it's very it's like the 50s equivalent of the future. You know, like they're like,
Mhm.
oh, in 2000 we're gonna have flying cars and robotic dogs and robotic servants. It's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, now we got NFTs.
Yeah.
Josh, are you still? Can you say anything about the game you're reviewing yet?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
already
sure,
turn
yeah,
that reviewing?
yeah. Loot River. Yeah, it's fantastic. So essentially, think of like a over the top Dark Souls with roguelike mechanics. Like essentially, there is the first map is like a very generically a training map, so it never changes.
Mhm.
And then you die or you defeat the boss, whichever occurs first. And then you kind of like get this. Okay, you now go into like a pre-generated world, or not pre-generated. What's the word?
It's a dice roll. It's always
Yeah,
randomized.
it's always randomized. Yeah,
It's
so
a roguelike.
yeah, so it's very roguelike features, very hard. And if you die, you basically not go back to the beginning, but like you have your like beginning stats and your beginning weapons and stuff like that. It's a really hard game, really fun, and of course,
How's the progression in the boss fights? Because that's always something I look for whenever I'm playing games like that.
so it depends on what you do. So like, there's like each boss you kill drops like a trinket basically, and you talk to like the person who basically gives you the ability to come back to life every time, and she like is able to manipulate the world, and you're basically trying to stop this flow of time, or like so you're basically in a circled river that keeps going over and over and over again. You're trying to break out of that. So every time you have like these different trinkets, it like creates a different boss. It creates these different worlds with different enemies and or more harder stuff depending on how you do the combinations and how the dice is rolled and everything.
Are the
It's
bosses?
really good.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I have so many questions.
No.
Are the bosses? Is it like Hades, where like the bosses are set in stone, or are they randomized? Like you might get this boss on the first level, you might get this boss on the fifth level.
It's like okay, so like I said, the training level is the same boss. It's the false king, for
Mhm.
example. If you defeat him, you get the trinket called the false king, or it's like something similar to that. And if you just have that in there, you fight the false king again, but it's in a different labyrinth to get to him.
Does it get harder?
He does get harder.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and then if you beat him again, like I did it, so I beat him the first time, went back to the second time, and even then the NPCs like kind of know what you're doing. Like you'll go up talk to this one guy, and he's like, Why are you going to realms where he's it's his realm? Why would you do that?" And you go fight him again, and he doesn't drop the same weapon he had before. He drops the weapon that you had left previously, but it's at a higher tier. So like you start with like a tier 1 spear or tier 1 sword, and then you beat him again. Whichever one you dropped, it goes up to like a tier 11 almost because he's really hard the second time around.
I was listening to like I think it was some speedrunners or people were talking about the speedrun capabilities of the game. And I hear
Yeah.
a lot of that is like dependent upon which boss you get when. Like
Yes.
like there's a like apparently there's a harder boss that like if you get him early like that's going to be really good for your run.
Yeah, because they'll drop the better loot for you, which means when you go back a second time or go back and do the next one, you have better equipment already.
And then also the fact you're not fighting that boss in the game is supposed to be like ramped
True.
up and harder.
True.
That like speedrunning games like that always bothers me. Like I remember I got into speedrunning Hades for a little bit, but it was like there's just so much that's dependent upon the game. Like when you're speedrunning Metroid, like that's all you.
Right.
Like there may be some random stuff when it comes to like a bug or something that you're doing to like get yourself ahead. But like it's like there's a set order. You're not like, oh, I got to get this Hades boon.
No, it's definitely one of those games where you can speedrun it. I don't. It's not my cup of tea because it seems like it's almost not impossible, but like you have to learn like every aspect of the game and plan for everything to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you took like an example, if you took like you said Metroid, everything is pretty much set in stone, and there's ways to avoid certain things because people have exploited the crap out of it.
Right.
And then even then, that's not even the best part. I think the best part of the whole entire game, and it was just because it's so different, is you get on these platforms and you control them. So like if you get to like one platform, you can actually move it with your right. Like if you have, I use this controllers, so the right stick moved everything, where your left stick moved you.
Okay, I was wondering how that worked with because I remember reading that like the standout is those platforms, and I
Yeah.
was wondering with the two thumbsticks like how aggravating that is. Like
It's
if
really not. I can't think of any good example, but someone said basically think with the right stick it's Tetris basically because
Okay.
it's like a Tetris. Like I mean you can't like rotate them, but as far as move them to go to the right spots, because there are some spots where you actually have to like think about it for a second to be able to progress into smaller, tinier hallways. But Oh, it's not like it's like, oh, it's so hard I can't beat it, but it's like it's gonna require at least a little bit of brain power.
I like the sound of it. I'm looking at it on Game Pass right now, and I'm thinking about downloading it.
Yeah,
And
no, it's a lot of fun.
it's got the coolest logo I've seen for a game in a while.
Oh yeah, no, even the opening, the main menu looks pretty cool too.
It's the house soundtrack. Soundtrack?
Sound, I mean, I've heard better, but it's not terrible either.
Okay. All right. Anything else you're playing?
No, it's just those two games right now.
Okay. So I had my Dune Spice Wars early access review come out. I'm never a fan of writing early access reviews because the game is going to change. So someone's going to find that review and be like, "This Nick Kaufman person is a dipshit," and they'd be right, and they'd be right on many cases.
So true.
But I played a little bit of that. It's fun. I'm excited to get into the multiplayer when it finally does come out because playing the PC, like, it's one of those games where, like, if you mess up 20 minutes into it, you're kind of screwed. You're kind of playing catch up the rest of the way when it comes to, like, a resource, or if, like, a bunch of your guys got eaten by a sandworm, and if you're me, a lot of your guys are getting eaten by a sandworm. So that's fun. That also makes me want to watch the movie. So that's queued up on HBO Max after I watch Winning Time tonight. Another game that just came out on Game Pass, I think it's also out on Steam. I'm playing Trek to Yami, which you guys could probably pull up a video of it, but it is a 2D side scroller indie game. Think, wow, what's that game? Think Limbo or Inside, but from a samurai film perspective. So the movement is very Limbo or Inside. The combat is it's so. It kind of feels like it could use some work, but I'm having a good time with it so far. It's a samurai revenge story. You're a young kid. Your sensei gets murdered. You're out for revenge, and I do wish there were more attacks. I'm only like the first hour into it, so I'm sure there might be more along the way. We'll see. We shall see. Let's see. I got another game I'm playing. I can't talk about quite yet because I'm on an NDA for it. And then I played some Iron Harvest for the first time in a few weeks. I got some nasty meta abusers. One game. So I got this guy twice. The first game, I found like the workaround and like beat his ass, and he quit in the middle of it. Second game, he just threw all the bullshit at me, and I fucking quit. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm out. And that you'll actually be able to find those games on YouTube on Monday, right along with this video. But that's where I've been. I do want to check out Citizen. There's a lot of narrative games these past few months. So like Nordic was a hot one. Citizen Sleeper, and they're all coming to Game Pass, by the way, which is crazy to me. So I still have my Game Pass. It's $10 a month. Have you guys played? By the way, have you guys played Bugsnax yet?
No, but I know what it is.
Play Bugsnax. It's
I bought it.
good.
I've never played it.
It's you, Josh. You have no reason. It was free on your PS5.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I bought it for free. I never played it.
So I bought it when it came out on Epic. Was that 2 years ago now? Almost 2 years ago now. They just came out with new DLC. I want to go back and play it. You guys should play it so we can all have a conversation about it.
Yes, I do want to talk about bugs and snacks.
Dude, it's so good.
Only if we can bring up the theories into it as well.
Yes, we can get very InfoWars about the Bugsnax.
All right.
Very InfoWars. So that's what we've been playing. You guys ready to talk 2009? 2009.
Yeah, let's do it.
2009. All right, let's do it. All right, first up. All right, so we had a vote on these games. You know what? I'm going to say this is a pretty strong Q1 for how shit of a year it is.
It's so strong. Okay, so quarter one's good, like decently, and then Q2 kind of starts like the dip. It's like this is the climax of the year, and then it kind of dips so far.
All right, Josh, what's first?
We got February 17th, Street Fighter 4.
Street Fighter 4. My goodness.
That's right, everyone. We finally got a sequel at this point. Not like an add-on, not a DLC, not a different version with more stuff. An actual game.
Did people like this art style when it came out? I don't remember.
I think there was like mixed feelings about it, but it took them forever to go from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 3 to Street Fighter 4, I believe.
So for those who don't, sorry, go ahead, Jake.
I'm trying to see when Street Fighter 3 came out.
So for those who don't know, Street Fighter is a very popular fighting game series that really took off at 2 from Capcom. And then when 2 came out, they did a bunch of weird stuff. Like what are the different versions called? Like Street Fighter 2 Ultra, like
Turbo HD
Yeah,
Remix,
Turbo.
Tournament
Yeah.
Edition. I mean, there's like 3,000 different versions. Of
Okay,
it.
so this came out 2009. Street Fighter 3 came out in 1997.
so about a 12-year gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, like they released all the different versions of 2 and 3. I think they even threw a few editions of 1, possibly. I just know 2 is like the game that everybody doesn't shut up about because there's like 17 different versions of it. 3 has like 5 or 7 different versions. Heck, even this eventually gets like 4 or 5 different versions, not including the different consoles.
Super Street Fighter.
Well, and I think the reason this is so like Jake said, 12 years gap, so people are like, oh, new Street Fighter, but also I'd say this is modernized Street Fighter because what was 3? 3 was out when arcades were still a thing.
Yep.
97 would have been PlayStation.
Yeah, originally released as a coin-operated arcade machine in 1997.
So now we're talking, we're here like 3 years, 2 years, or yeah, 3-4 years into the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii era, and now we're finally getting a Street Fighter. And people like this one. I don't know why they like it, but they like it. They liked it better than 3. They like it better than 5. But I also think 5 came out like incomplete without a story.
And then they announced the new Street Fighter coming out.
Oh, I still love I love the jokes about the logo,
logo.
being made in
Yeah.
Photoshop. It looks like a Photoshop amateur made it in one of those YouTube videos. And then when I saw it, I was like,
Capcom.
oh yeah, they're right. Oh, I'm disgusted by this guy's belly jiggling, and it's making my tummy jiggle.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Oh,
I want to click off this fight. Josh, what is your experience with the Street of Fighter?
I've learned this game, or not this game in particular, but Street Fighter is the genre of like the reason of genre is that I avoid like online multiplayer fighting games because you either get the one person who spams the same crap over and over again where you can't move, or you end up fighting somebody who knows every single combo that stun locks you completely from being able to do anything.
I tried that with Tekken 7, and people are no joke in that game online. Oh, gee, it was fun, but damn. Okay, I was playing Eddie. Just doing the whole button mashing, thinking I can make some wins with it, but no, it doesn't work out that way.
Fan favorite and fan of the podcast, Eddie Guerrero being mentioned. There you go, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
He listens. Eddie Guerrero listens.
So can anybody guess though how many new characters they added into this game?
In 4?
Yeah.
I think 4 was the one where they weren't really adding too. I'd say probably like 10.
Okay, not including DLC, of course. I think they may have added some in DLC, but just right off the bat.
So without DLC, I'd probably say like 6.
That is correct. It is 6.
Holy shit, that was a wild guess. Woo! I just figured, 12 years, you don't want to like scare people. You want to bring in all your heavy hitters and then maybe 6 new kids.
I think Smash kind of did something like that.
Yeah, so like I agree with you, Nick. I don't understand why this is not a fan favorite. I don't understand why it was so good. Like it's just a modernized version of Street Fighter. I mean, I can get it. It's something new you're bringing to the table. It's not like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, Turbo Deluxe, whatever. But
I think what it comes down to is whenever like a competitive game like this is popular, my money is on the fact that people probably think it's pretty balanced. Like you're always gonna have your fringe people who are fans of the Riddler on the Batman, and also they're like, oh, this is broken, unplayable game. Capcom wins the update. You're always gonna have those people. But I would imagine this game was pretty fucking balanced if people were sticking to it and still stick to it over 5.
I mean, have you guys know what Moment 37 is, right?
Yeah. Oh, I watched it. I watched a video of it. It was a tournament. It was a tournament moment where somebody did a move with or someone dodged all of Chun-Li's kicks that are very hard to dodge. Right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's a.
Yep.
Oh my god! If you watch it,
not only is it, I don't think it's like hard to dodge, but with the crowd like all around you in a tournament moment, like there's no way that someone could pull that off with all that stress and like hype behind them.
And weren't the announcers like basically like, oh yeah, he's lost this one? Like, weren't they? Didn't they completely give up on him and everything?
Well, I don't think they completely gave up on him, but like looking at the health bar, like it's like okay, he's not gonna come back from this.
And those Chun, like you have to like time it out just right. And she has like how many kicks in that move?
That's a lot, but like people have like tried pulling it off themselves, just fighting somebody or fighting a bot, but like it's easy. It's actually really easy to do, but it was just the moment that you're doing it in a damn tournament.
With like basically you're one hit away from the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to go back and watch it after the show. Anything else about Street Fighter? I remember seeing this on the 3DS when the 3DS was brand new, and like turning the 3D on and seeing, like I thought it looked pretty good on 3DS.
So quickly, just for plot reasons, can anybody guess where this sits in the plot? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not 100% in order.
I'm gonna guess. So nobody gives a shit about first one, so I'm not even gonna put that on timeline. I'm gonna guess it's right before 2.
It's actually after 2,
Okay,
before 5, because 3 is set in the future. Yeah,
we're
they
moving
pulled
on.
a Devil May Cry.
Get me out of there.
We're moving on. All right, Josh, what's the next
one? February 26th, the greatest RTS to ever come out, Halo Wars.
I don't know about.
I don't know what the greatest.
Josh.
Okay, we're gonna be real quick about this. Halo Wars is by far my favorite, and I think it's just because it has nostalgic to it, a nostalgic nod towards one of my favorite universes.
I think it's like one of the first. Well, actually, no, probably not, because you probably play Command and Conquer with the controller.
Well, yeah, I mean, I played Command and Conquer before it came to console, so.
I think it's just like a fan favorite of yours because like you can relate to it being in the Halo universe. Like, oh, I know what this is, I know what that is, and not Command and Conquer when it's just like, oh, I don't know who this guy is.
So some fun facts about Halo Wars is made by Ensemble Studios, who did all the Age of Empires, but they got wasted in 2009. Like right before the release of this game. They were owned by Microsoft after 2001, so read the room, folks. You got that Microsoft squeeze. This was, so for those who don't know, Halo started out as a first-person shooter series. Let me rewind you though. Before Bungie was acquired by Microsoft, they were originally designing Halo as an RTS. So it's pretty cool to see them take that concept and be like, hey, we could do that, and do a pretty fucking good job at it. Like people still play this game to this day.
They even remastered it.
They remastered it, and they
gave
it a sequel.
Edition.
Which
was fun.
I still want that sequel to come to Steam. Hey, 343 Studios, if you're listening, it's not like you're helping consult with the Halo show because they don't want you to.
What? Put Halo Wars 2 is not on Steam?
No, it's only through the Xbox app.
Yeah.
But the first one is though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. So Microsoft is drinking that Steam Kool-Aid. I just want to have it in the same spot. I don't need to have everything on Steam, but like just to have the sequel and the original together would be nice.
I would like to have it on there just because I've tried getting on recently to play Halo Wars 2. Because in my opinion, it's still a good game. The campaign wasn't as good, but as far as like mechanics and everything go, new character or new leaders, new units, it's a great game. Just not a lot of people play it. So like when I unfortunately play it, playing with people who are like that's the only game they ever play ever.
And you get stomped.
And they stomped me within the first 3 minutes. I'm good. I'm not that good.
So more people. So this game, early 2009. I think this was this the first year that there were multiple Halo titles in the same year? I think so.
At least I think doesn't Reach come out?
Because ODST.
No, it's ODST.
ODST comes out later this year. But 2008 there was no Halo. 2007 it was just 3. And then if you go, like this is the first year where like multiple Halos came out on the 360 or the Xbox family of consoles. Guys, it's a great RTS. It's a shame the studio shut down because they have so much history in the RTS genre. Mm-hmm. And now you see like Age of Empires being helmed by Relic, coming in and doing that for Relic, or I'm sorry, for Microsoft, who I guess owns the IP. Yeah, anything else to add about Halo Wars? I think it's crazy that Halo Wars 2's story was basically used to set up Halo Infinite.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Halo Wars, for this one here, takes place 20 years before the events of Halo Combat Evolved.
And then the Halo Wars 2 picks up after this one, right?
No, Halo Wars 2 is like, oh God, is it 30?
But it's this.
Because it's closer. Because they go, okay, spoiler alert right now. At the end of this one, they had to use the warp drive to destroy the fleet, the fleet that the Flood's trying to, or the Covenant's trying to get. So they basically all have to go into cryo sleep because they have no way of getting back home quickly. So they're like drifting in space for years.
So you're saying that I won't be able to see Master Chief's ass in this game?
That is correct.
You'd have to get a specific mod from the Steam workshop for that, Jake.
It's 28 years after the events of Halo Wars, and shortly after the events of Halo 5.
Okay,
is number 2. So yeah, I couldn't remember the year exactly, but it's much further into the future because they had been drifting for that long.
Yeah, because the events at the end of this one are picked up in another game. I forget which one, but then Halo Wars 2 picks up after that game. I'm forgetting which one it is because it's one of those isometric like top down third person shooter ones.
It was the first was it Spartan Assault? Is that what it was called?
It might have been one of those.
Oh yeah, that was like the one that was like kind of free, I think, or wasn't free.
I think it was free for a limited time. It's just super weird how like the stories blend. Like, okay, here's the story in RTS. Oh, you want to continue that story? You're gonna have to play this third person shooter top down.
Yep.
It's like, all right, Microsoft, here's my $1. You sons of bitches. Anything else on Halo Wars, boys?
So Ensemble didn't do any of the DLC. It was done by Robot Entertainment.
I
didn't know that.
Are they just like an in-house, like, hey, we need you to finish this. We need you to finish the fight, Robot Studios.
I actually don't know. I'm just reading this now. I thought it was pretty cool. And the first DLC package was called Strategic Options, which added 3 new multiplayer modes.
That's what RTS needs, is more multiplayer modes. There's not enough.
They had a mode called Keep Away, which is similar to Capture the Flag. I didn't realize. Honestly, I just remember playing Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and I forget what the other one was that was like really big.
Yo, some of these, like Capture the Flag and RTS sounds like it'd be fun.
Pain.
All right, kids. Josh, what's next?
All right. February 27th, the next day, we had the actually, it was probably at the time first person shooter on the PS3, Killzone 2.
I'm groaning at this. This is Guerrilla. This was Guerrilla Studios before they liked making the Horizon game and being overshadowed by Zelda and Elden Ring both times.
Jesus.
This game, this game had a chip on its shoulder coming out because it had that E3 trailer from I think 3 or 4 years before it came out, where people were like, "Oh my god, is that in game? Is that in engine? Oh my god, what?" And
it's like, weren't they saying that it was supposed to be like the Halo killer?
That was the first one, and then
every game was trying to be the Halo killer, Jake.
And then this one, they just got away from it. They're like, "We're not trying to kill Halo. We're just trying to be our own. We're Killzone. We're Killzone."
This is the flagship of the PS3.
Oh, I skipped 4 seconds. I mean, now in hindsight, this looks bleh. But once upon a time,
at the time, it was great. Actually, I remember
on in 1080.
I remember seeing the trailer when it was finally coming out, and this is the reason why I bought a PS3.
See, I like there were 2 shooters for this for PS3 at this time. It was the Resistance series and this, and I definitely prefer the Resistance series. It has definitely had more interesting stuff going on there.
I don't know. This has one of the coolest scenes, in my opinion. Well, I say coolest, but it's more like the heroic sacrifice moments.
Spoil it. Game's 13 years old.
We're gonna spoil it right now, everyone. So there's a point where the Hellghast attack your flagship, and the main character from the first game, I believe, is the colonel who's leading your force against them. Mm-hmm. And a last minute ditch effort to stop them from taking over your flagship basically sets the self-destruct button and sets off the ship to blow up, and you have to escape from it and everything. It's really cool. It's sad. It's really cool.
I'll tell you what, looking at this, I do like. So for those watching the video, it's a first-person shooter. Like Josh said, it was supposed to be a Halo killer on the PS2. It didn't work out. This one was big because of the cutscene I mentioned before. But in the video we're watching, anytime he ducks behind cover, like he lifts the gun, kind of like, I mean, it reacts to the surfaces around him, which I think is cool, which you don't really see in a lot of shooters.
What I like
Usually,
about the guns in this game is that like it's like a secondary feature to every gun almost.
yeah, I did like
Yeah.
that because you have the Hellgas rifle, which you can, I think, set the burst, or I think it's like fire. There was a shotgun where you could blast
Yeah,
everything out at
shotgun
once.
rifle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always did. I did like the gunplay feels good in it. I will say that.
It's an overall. It's okay. So yes, it does. Back in the day, it looked good. Now, yeah,
It's
but
very brown and gray.
let's face it. This was the last good Killzone.
You didn't like 3 or Liberty?
So Liberty, I didn't like too much. It was just Where 3, I liked it at first, but then it kind of like went off. It jumped the shark.
Didn't they do a turn-based Killzone?
Yes, that was on the PSP. We covered that back. I think it was 2007.
That's right. Yeah, yucky, gross. I mean, this looks fine.
I don't think it was 100% turn-based. I can't remember top of my head, but it's pretty crappy. Either way, yeah. So I still think Killzone 2 is my favorite. Killzone 1's right behind it. Killzone 3, and then
Killzone 1 did Killzone 2 add a jump button? Killzone 1 did not have a jump button
I think this does have a jump button.
because jump was replaced with lift yourself up on a corner or something like that.
Yeah, I think if this one didn't do it, it was definitely 3.
And anything else to suck Killzone's balls before we move on, Josh?
No, we can move on.
I'm done.
It's good.
I'm done with the Killzone nuts. What we got next?
We jump into March, everyone. March 6th, we've got Tom Clancy's Hawks.
All right. I don't know, but I'm
Hawk.
going to quiz both of you. What does Hawks stand for? It's HAWX for those listening.
High altitude warfare or something.
Altitude war kangaroos.
Both
I just
of
know
them.
high altitude warfare. I just
Should
don't
both
remember what the
quit.
X stands for.
So for the kids listening, Tom Clancy was an author, and Ubisoft did some Tom Clancy video games. They were mainly first-person and third-person shooters. Around this time, 2008, 2009, they were experimenting, and they ended up doing an air battle game, which we're going to say Top Gun Maverick a few times so SEO picks us up, and anytime someone searches Top Gun Maverick or Highway to the Danger Zone, they'll find us. I love the hell out of this game, by the way.
I love this one.
Hard.
Second one I didn't like so much, but this one was fantastic.
So it is very hard. I like it. So Ace Combat has like an anime lean on it, and this does not have that at all. This is just very, very combat based, very almost simmy, I would say.
Yeah.
I haven't played anything else like it, so I don't want people to be like, Simmy, this is the most arcade fucking shit I've ever seen. It's just air dogfights, my guys. It's fun. It was tough.
Sims? Are you saying Sims flying game?
Simulators.
My sim, he's just stuck in the air.
What I wish, because I know we had this growing up, but I wish we had that special stick controller.
Yeah, that would make it so much fun. Just fucking hitting the button to fire the missiles. This guy's a bad flyer. I don't know why he's so low. I enjoy.
When are you a good flyer, Nick?
Like I said, it was just something different compared to like what else they were doing, because the other games they were putting out around this time were Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. I think it was Double Agent was around this time.
Yep, double.
Great game.
People loved Graw. Graw was okay. The Rainbow Six crew was doing a long extended weekend in Vegas. That was fun too.
Hey, Vegas 1 and 2 were great. I loved the terrorist hunt.
They were all
Especially
fine. It was
two.
just very same. But you know what? I do prefer that era. I prefer that era of Ubisoft compared to the era now where everything's like, climb the tower. Here's all the shit around you. Go do it.
NFTs.
Gotta get these NFT. Oh, Jake, good looking out for the SEO. Good.
Jesus.
I can't stand it.
So one thing I don't understand too, plus they get so political about their shit. Like the whole reason Rainbow Six Siege didn't get a campaign was the whole terrorist issue at the time. Like, oh, we're just gonna go ahead and cancel the campaign. Okay, well, guys, calm down. It's a game. It's not real life.
We see that's the funny thing, because you say it was very political, but Ubisoft, anytime like something comes up, like for example, like one of the recent Watchdog games, like there was like it was pointing towards like some stuff some tech CEOs were doing. They're like, guys, we're not getting really political with this one. We're just having fun with it. And I hate it when games don't like take a side. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna kind of play it in the middle, even though they're tiptoeing like towards one side.
Lines, yeah.
It's like,
I
come
mean,
on, Ubisoft.
Well, let's face it, though, Ubisoft has been in a lot of controversy too. At this point, like we're starting to get into the point where people are starting to realize that not as much at the time, because obviously the biggest one was what's that game they came out with? We were just talking about it, Nick, with the tech stuff.
With the what?
Oh, Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
Watch
I
Dogs.
think it was Watch Dogs Legion or Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
One of those two.
2 was that part, but remember the trailers for 1 when it looked so good. and
Yep,
fantastic?
that was a big
Yeah.
that was a big issue. It looked so great, and it just downgrade.
And like they were even doing it
puddles.
for these.
The
They were doing
puddles.
it for these games even, but people weren't realizing it as much because they were older consoles too, and people are like, okay, we're gonna give it a break. Or we're told like the Xbox One and the PS4 are like top notch to be able to show everything, and they give you that, and it's like, well, wait a minute. What's going on? And then they came back and like, oh yeah, that's just not possible. And then they purposely downgraded the PC version. Like, that's the kind of shit. Like, why? Just give us what we want, or don't show it to us like that.
Watch Dog 1 should have been so cool. Being
Should
set
have
in
been.
Chicago and all should have been awesome. It should have been a home run. But yeah, and then Ubisoft on top of like their sexual assault allegations and just a toxic workplace. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the same shit where everywhere else. There's some other bigger players going to come in and swoop them up, buy it up. They're going to settle whatever issues they have in house, and then that'll be the end of it until the next one. But
This
also
Assassin's Creed.
about these planes, I like the weapon variety. You got me started on Ubisoft, Josh. How dare you?
This
Sorry, I know,
Assassin's
I
Creed
know.
is
Wait.
different because it's in a different age.
Hold on. Do you guys say Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
I say UB.
I say Ubi too. I've heard it. I've heard it both ways, but I do say it Ubi. All right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think I saw it in the beginning too when they were showing all the companies. They had a lot of like the aerodynamic companies like Boeing and GOIs and stuff like that. They had all these huge companies like get
GOI.
involved with this, like, right? Like it was all like top notch. Like they try to make it as realistic as possible.
Well, I think that
with the companies, they kind of had to because they're gonna show their planes and shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But isn't that like wasn't that like a huge deal? Because no other like usually you don't get like so realistic, but they got to the point where they started bringing all these aerodynamic companies like Boeing into the game just to like make it, I guess, as realistic as possible, right? Because it was supposed to be like really top notch everything.
that makes me wonder if you can't. That makes me wonder if you're not supposed to be able to find this on shelves anymore, because those licensing agreements do expire, and it gets to a certain point where you're like, yeah, we're not renewing this. And then, so I mean, that's what happens to like the Gran Turismos and Forzas of the world. Oh, Porsche's pulling out. We got to pull out Forza 7. Goodbye. By the way,
Yep.
I was watching this trailer just now. Look at the Grawl guys down there. Was there supposed to be a Tom Clancy multiverse?
Yeah, so this is actually in an interview, Nick. They actually said that it's set in between Raw 2 and End War.
I was gonna say N-word, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm mad we didn't like get it fully realized, but that's still really cool.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the Ubisoft games are kind of like similar in the same universe because honestly, it's all warfare and military stuff. I'm sure that what was the game? What was that game called? The one where there was a virus.
Oh,
Isn't there a new Rainbow Six one that has a virus? Or no, you're talking the Division.
yeah,
Division, yeah. I'm sure that you're still playing like similar people that were.
Well, I mean,
Rainbow Six or Tom Clancy.
Siege has Sam Fisher, and he's not called Sam Fisher, but he's in it.
Yeah, it's called something else.
No,
yeah.
the
Zero.
minute they made the Division a loot shooter, I was out. I was like, I wanted this to be super realistic. I didn't need here's this mercenary. The numbers are popping above his head. Go, go, go. Like you had me at, hey, New York has been well, you can't. The timing on that game, if that had tried to come out in 2020, that would have been
Oh, yeah,
kibosh. That
COVID.
would have been fucking kibosh. They would have been like, we can't put this fucking game out, you guys. But you had me when you're like, oh yeah, New York City's been ravaged, and I was like, yes, let's
I
go.
heard New York was bad around COVID times.
And and they're like, oh, and by the way, shooting that guy in the head's not gonna kill him. This is the looter shooter. No, that was my response when I found that out. It looked so cool, and then I found that out. I was like, yeah, I'm out. It's not for me, dog. We moving on?
Yeah, let's move on while we can.
While we can, before somebody goes off on a dichotomy. What's next?
We're gonna end it. Part 1, everyone. March 13th.
No.
Resident Evil 5.
Josh,
This
if you're
is
gonna
probably
say
Friday
it,
the
Josh, try it again. But this time, say it like I just hit the start button and the game's getting ready to start.
Resident Evil 5.
Okay.
So this did come out on Friday the 13th of that year.
Is it really Friday the 13th?
Yes.
Oh shit, I didn't realize that.
I love it.
And of course,
you
I had to
gotta
get the
love
best
it.
scene of the whole entire. Well, one of the best scenes of the whole entire.
Punch that damn boulder.
Freaking okay, so for those who don't know, Resident Evil is a survival horror series. Resident Evil 5 was the second the second game in the series to do third person behind the back after Resident Evil 4 did it so well. It stars Chris Redfield and then his partner Shiva. People were love it or hate it with the co-op because if you didn't have a friend to play with, the AI was garbage.
Oh yes, she was.
The to keep things complicated, Capcom introduced a new plague virus variant called the Ouroboros. Instead of sticking with the Las Plagas or T or G or one of the millions of viruses that Umbrella has put out irresponsibly, they're like, oh yeah, Ouroboros. And we just all fucking said sure.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
sure. And yeah, this basically just this scene right now. If you're watching the video, is basically like the Resident Evil 4 intro scene
Equivalent. Yeah.
equivalent. Oh, we're
It's the village
barricading a
scene.
house. We gotta fight them off.
They're
All I have is a pistol.
yeah. We're gonna barricade this house and we're gonna run one from the big guy with basically. I think this guy had the axe, right? He wasn't the chainsaw
No, it's a hammer.
hammer. But it is the equivalent of that. It's like we're gonna upgrade just a bit.
Well, and you know, I think as time passes, this game has aged better than what people thought. Honestly, yeah, like yes, the AI is garbage. But oh, yep, there's Hammer Boy right there. But I mean, this like 13-year-old game, this still looks great.
Oh yeah. It definitely has not. I mean, it has not aged terribly. It looks good. It still plays good. The AI is still garbage, but they've obviously tweaked it enough that it's not complete garbage.
I wonder
it's
if there's
also-
mods for it.
It's also just so forgettable. I think anything not involving Wesker or Jill, it's Wesker by the way. Anything not involving Wesker, Jill, or Chris is just like this little village area. Like I couldn't tell you. Like Resident Evil 4, I could tell you about the village and the castle, not so much the island at the end. But you remember those, and I think that's kind of the thing about the Resident Evil series. Like yes, you have those great characters, but you need to have a great area. Resident Evil 1 had the mansion. 2 and 3 had Raccoon City, which were both. And even then, Raccoon City, you had the police station, you had the clock tower, you had the hospital. And then you get into 4, which had the village and the castle, which were both great. Code Veronica had the island that everybody loved. Like anyone who's played that like swears by that scene or that area. This, not so much. And you know what? You see it in 7 and 8. Like you see a focus on the area a little more over character. And I think this game, where 5 failed was they were like, people love Chris. Let's just focus on Chris and the action. And this area right here just feels so forget. I could jump ahead and probably find another forgettable area.
I can't even
It's
think
the whole
about
village
other
thing.
parts besides like maybe when you fight Jill and Wesker at the same time.
You know what? You know what scene I remember? The Jill scene where you're like Jill and Chris are going to fight Wesker because they're in the old guy Spencer's mansion, which is an exact replica of the first mansion.
Yeah,
and
that's only DLC, right? Because you
yeah,
only see a cutscene. You get the cutscene, but it's all DLC if you want to play it.
Right. And you know why that stands out? Because that fucking area is fucking bonkers.
Then this is they changed the inventory in this too. Like it was so stupid. Like before you had the box and it was great, but I get why they did this because they were trying to make it cooperative. So I get it. But rather than giving us, enjoyed in the fourth one, they give it this weird. We're gonna give you 9 slots. That's it.
Well, and then this, you can't really pause the game. It's like, hey, mom, I can't eat dinner right now because I can't pause the fucking game.
Killing Wesker, mom, God.
Mom, I'm
I mean,
killing
even-
Wesker.
Oh man, don't even get me started on 6, dude. 6 was a mess.
Yeah.
Your phone was your inventory.
Outbreak was a better online experience than 5.
I miss Outbreak.
I said it.
I miss Outbreak. Oh, both that and Final 2. Both are fantastic multiplayer experiences.
Can't really talk about Resident Evil 5 without the race issues. White guy showing up and shooting black folks in Africa.
Wait a minute, I brought this up last week when we were talking
there we
about this.
can't-
You said
no,
we couldn't
yeah,
do
what
this.
is this?
Yeah, you're thinking our jokes.
I'm just saying, like that was an issue. I think the trailer from this from like 4 or 5 years ago, or from 4 or 5 years before, like people were like, guys, can we do this? Can we do this? And they still did it. Yeah, it's one of those weird issues. We won't get into it. There are other podcasts for that, but
Show the meme.
I just wanted to bring it up. No, not yet, Jake. It's news. We have a meme later. We'll do the meme after the news. Anything else on Resident Evil 5? The bosses are okay.
I didn't care for that boss, that like boat guy.
Yeah, the boat one was stupid. I really liked the one girl. I forget her name. She's like wearing a dress and then like she completely transforms. Like,
Yeah, you're talking on the boat where you have to.
I think that was a guy though.
Yeah, that was a guy. The one in the one Nick's talking about is, I think you're like in a cave or something.
No, he's talking about when you're on the ship heading towards the launch site.
That's
where the
that
girl-
rich white guy.
Yeah, the rich
I
white
thought
guy. The rich white guy. He turns into like this big watery, like this big thing, and like you're fighting it on the water with harpoons.
Yeah.
No. There's this. You go
Oh,
on top
I
of
know
the,
what you're
the
talking
tanker.
about.
You go on top of the tanker and you
Yeah.
fight her.
Okay.
She's really
Yeah,
cute.
you're like in a fuel
That being said,
oil
besides
rig something.
the Wesker one, a lot of them are very forgettable, especially after the bangers that were all 4, like the U3. U3 was crazy.
I still think my favorite like mechanic in the whole game is shooting a rocket at Wesker and him catching it and holding it in his hand. Or not like holding it, but like he's like trying to stop it. And then if you shoot it, it blows up. Otherwise, once it dies down, I think he turns around and throws it at you.
Oh, did you drop this?
It's just cool. It's just cool because like we basically make Wesker an Agent Smith and he's unstoppable. Like, come on.
Yeah, he gives a trench coat. Come on.
We make him an Agent Smith and somehow Chris Redfield can still kick his ass. Just saying.
Fucking Chris. Anything else about Resident Evil 5?
No,
I think they added. I think that one of the scene where he throws his glasses, they put that in the damn shitty movie.
Oh, the newest one?
Yeah.
I still need to watch
No,
it.
not the newest one.
No, the one where you
in
meet
the-
him in, and he's on the boat in Jill, or not Jill, but the main character. I forget her name.
Alice.
Yeah, she fights him, and he throws it like it's
Yeah.
him.
I
It's
think
her,
like
Chris,
the movie
and
was like
Claire, right?
3D or something, so they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, let's put the glasses and throw them in
Yeah,
3D."
and it's her, Chris, and Claire fighting her basically.
The fact that they try to put moments in games in the movie just blows my damn mind.
Just let it go. We should all watch that new movie and just have an episode where
No,
we shit
I
on
am
it.
not watching that
Let's
movie.
have an
again.
episode where we
It
shit
was
on
the-
it.
Okay,
It was
okay,
the biggest waste of time.
I've read the screenplay and I know it's bad, but I'm ready to watch it.
all right, let's do it. I'll sit down. But this is the only time we'll ever watch it. After that, I'm done. No more Resident
rather
Evil movies.
watch the
Jake-
Mark Wahlberg Transformers again.
So have you
Hold it.
seen?
Wait, which one?
Oh, I've only seen the first one.
You've seen that Resident Evil, right, Jake?
Yes,
Okay, so then Josh and I need to watch it.
it's all. I thought you guys went to go see it.
We were going
thought
to.
about-
We
we were
just-
going
the
to,
timing
and-
never worked.
Oh
out.
yeah, don't waste your money.
I'll spend $5 get it on Amazon. All right, are
I'll
we-
get it for free.
we'll plan that out. We'll plan that out for the future. Keep an eye out for that. Who is ready for news?
Oh, I am.
Okay,
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
it's time for old news. Josh, announce the news like it just press start and we're starting the game.
News.
There we go. All right, here we go. January 29th, 31st. I spoiled this earlier. Ensemble Studios, creators of Age of Empires series, shut down after 15 years of service. Imagine that. You're going. So 2009, what was 15 years from 2009? Was that 94?
94. Yeah.
So you're going 7 years in, you get bought up by Microsoft, and then you just you put out some games, and then they fucking shut you down. I'd like to think if they were, like, let's say if they were found in 2004, and then they had the success that they had, I think they'd still be around, because Age of Empires 4 just came out. Like, RTS, like, it's still very niche, but it's like you're starting to see titles pop up. Like, people broke off from Blizzard and Frost Giants making a game. There's like 3 or 4 like smaller devs that broke off from the StarCraft 2 team, and they're like doing their own thing. So, and then you have everyone around them. Like, you have mods for the original StarCraft building a game. It's very funny how, like, all these groups. It's kind of like when you watch a show, like, oh, if you watch Community, you're like, oh, there's Donald Glover. That guy's pretty cool. And then, like, he broke away, and now he's doing, like, he's got his rap career, and now he's doing Atlanta. You see Danny Putty. He was in some other NBC shows. He's also in an Apple show. You see all the, like, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying, yeah.
So I think they'd still be around, but RIP to them. I'm sure it's a talented group of people, so I'm sure they all found work. What's next,
Age of
Josh?
Empires.
February 3rd to the 5th. Crytek, the developers of Far Cry and Crysis, of course, buys Free Radical Design, the developers of the Timesplitter series, and renames them to Crytek UK.
And so I was looking this up. It looks like UK did the Crysis port to consoles, and they also did Crysis 2, and then they did Crysis 3. So I don't know what the original Crysis team was doing, but they're like, you guys can do the other ones. We're fucking doing this one. We're getting the fuck out.
They're all just sitting there screaming at people. Why is this not done yet? Why do we not have Crysis for the consoles? What is going on?
And so those guys now are doing, looks like they're doing an Untitled Time Splitters game. So it looks like they're getting back into their roots. So good for them to have got acquired and then now, like, bounce back and be like, yeah, you know that thing we were good at? We're going to do that one again.
Was it Time Splitters, the arcade machine game that you could play? Or was that Time Crisis?
I think that's Time Crisis you're thinking of.
Okay, great.
I forget exactly what's set out by Time Splitters. It's a series that I've never actually touched.
I can't remember too much either, to be honest.
I think it's just a very cartoony shooter. I think when I think of Time Crisis or Time Splitters, now you got me doing it, I think of Serious Sam. I kind of put them, like, on the same level.
Or Duke Nukem.
Which I'm sure there's someone screaming at me like, motherfucker, did you just compare Time Splitters to Serious Sam? What is your address? I'm going to kick your ass.
We're going to beat this motherfucker right now.
Which I say, if someone cares that much, come beat my ass. Please. Please come
beat my ass, Dad.
February 4th through 6th, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment acquires Snowblind Studios, developer of Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and they would go on to do a Lord of the Rings RPG that did not slap, so they got squeezed into the Monolith company who did the Shadow of Mordor games.
Didn't they announce that Baldur's Gate coming out soon?
I'd have to look. I'm not.
Wait, didn't Baldur's Gate 3 just come out, like, within the past year or two?
Who owns that IP though?
Great question.
I couldn't like, it's crazy how much IP just, like, fucking changes hands. Let's see. Baldur's
Gate 3 was 2020.
Wasn't it's still in early access, isn't it?
No, I thought it was out of early access finally. I thought it was in early access, like, for a couple years.
So then 2020 when it got out.
Yeah.
Originally developed by BioWare, Atari revealed that Dogbeam would remake the game. It's originally developed. So here, let me find 3.
Yeah, 3 was Larian Studios.
Larian Studios, and who are they owned by? Doesn't say here.
Developer and publisher is Larian Studios.
But so the Larian Studios are the Divinity Original Sin guys. So this is all starting to make sense. It's just crazy that I guess this fucking Baldur's Gate IP is just like floating around willy nilly.
Anybody can do it.
You guys want it? Take it.
Or
Have it.
actually, no, we're gonna go with a Jimmy. Everybody's doing it. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
You know, I watched that episode the other day. With,
I did too.
Everybody's doing it. Or the fad freakers. Boom, boom. The music in that episode is just great. March 10th, 5th British Academy Video Game Awards, honoring games released in late 2007 and 2008. Best game going to Super Mario Galaxy. I could see that.
Yep.
Most awards was Call of Duty Modern Warfare with 3.
They had 3.
They had 7 nominations, tied with Grand Theft Auto 4. I'm surprised. You know what? I'm honestly surprised 4 didn't beat them out. But like Call of Duty 4 was just fucking mind-boggling at the time. I think people like really like rode that multiplayer and what it was doing. Now we look at it and we're like, oh, this is bullshit. Get this shit out of here.
Oh, no, what's really funny is I've been seeing all these articles like they'll go, the reason Vanguard didn't do as good as Call of Duty Black or Cold War, and I'm like, how about the reason you can't sell games better than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? Like, let's face it, after that, everything just kind of went downhill slowly.
Isn't their next one Modern Warfare 2?
It's well, so that I don't know if it's officially 100% announced.
It is because they showed the logo and everything. Like it's official, but I think they're either not. I don't think it's coming out the end of the year. Maybe I think they're gonna give it a year.
So they're
they're breaks now, like longer breaks.
They're doing one this year, and then they're taking 2023 off, which is good because there's been a Call of Duty every year since what 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
Actually, before that might be like 2005. So they can finally rest their bones. Like, can you imagine those three? What is that? That's Sledgehammer. That's Infinity Ward, and then who are the Treyarch? Like just fucking running on their hamster wheels for the last 15 zombies. They want zombies. We gotta make zombies.
Well, hold on, and I'm gonna get attacked for this. We all know, and it's not just them. It's any company that basically releases a game every year. Copy and paste, guys. Come on, like, be original. Like, I know that it's different companies, but they're all doing copy and paste for a while.
To steal
sports games.
To steal a meme from the internet, Josh. How dare you say something so brave yet so true?
I know, right? But I knew I was going to get attacked for it, but you know.
I think it's crazy that they've had that 3-team cycle going for the longest time. I'm surprised that either like they didn't bring in a fourth, because I think what they have done is had a lot of outside help from like, okay, hey, we have, isn't it Raven Studios that comes in and helps with the war? What's their
Warzone?
Yeah, okay, Warzone. Yeah, like Raven Studios does their Warzone and does the upkeep on that. They've had some other teams come in and help with some other stuff for like
Probably
campaign.
Well, so you know what happened? They released Vanguard. They realized how shitty it was, and they realized that Sledgehammer kind of put a bullet in its foot. And they're like, shh, go to bed. Just rest your eyes, young one.
I wonder, because now that they're getting the Microsoft squeeze, I wonder if like Microsoft would be like, guys, do you want to make something besides Call of Duty? Because Microsoft's like, they'll come in, people will lose their jobs because that's any acquisition they're going to be looking at like where they can cut the fat.
Yep.
And then they'll be like, okay, so we have 3 teams working on Call of Duty. We do not need that much Call of Duty.
I mean, like Overwatch 2, I feel like it's going to be a copy and paste.
Because Microsoft.
Okay. Have you guys seen anything for Overwatch 2 though?
I hear that
Yeah, I've heard
it's
a lot of. I've heard like a lot of characters that have different abilities. Like there's some changes in the game, and they added new maps. But I feel like it's still a copy and paste, and added another game mode too.
So one big thing they pointed out, and it's because it's like, how can you mess this up? There's a particular map where you have like the sun hitting stained glass and it hits the floor, and it looks fantastic, like it looks really detailed. But then you go to Overwatch 2 and it looks like just like a blur. Like it's copy and paste. How do you mess that up?
It's a beta.
Everything I'm hearing, isn't this an early build of the game?
Yes, it's a beta.
But still, for something that's already been developed, how do you mess that up?
Another thing I think is funny is that there's already been cheaters in the beta.
Yeah, I think it's after like the first week, the Twitch streams have lost like 99% of their viewers for that game.
Damn.
I actually went to Walmart. Everyone's been playing Overwatch now, And I've seen that Walmart team got like little shelves that just have like the old Overwatch like uh, logos and stuff like
Well,
all over the place.
that's the one PC game. Like you go into like one of those stores. They have a bunch of sim games, maybe like a Diablo or two, the Overwatch games.
All the cheap, like no one cares games. Never even heard of them.
Lego Star Wars.
Does your grandma want to play Bejeweled? We got Bejeweled.
Carnival Rides 17, the last ride.
Carnival games.
Carnival
Play
games.
with your family.
You say. That is the news. We have a new segment starting today. So Jake every week is going to be pulling a meme involved with one of the games we talked about today. Jake, Jake, you have two for us today. Will you go ahead and introduce said memes?
Are you pulling them up? Okay, so you got the Chris Redfield POV. You're the boulder. At the end of Resident Evil 5, this guy punches a boulder and miraculously moves it.
That has been one of my favorite Resident Evil memes. Like, I think this overtook Jill Sandwich for the longest time for me.
Yeah,
just the fact
it's just crazy. Like even the animation, it looks intense. It's one of those quick time events.
No,
you keep on button mashing.
Yeah. So like okay. So up until this point, like you're thinking, okay, it had some moments where it's like, okay, you know, it's a little shaky, but we're still good. But then right at the very end, you get to this part, and you just like basically, I don't know about anybody else, but I was just like, okay, I can't anymore. This game jumped the shark.
The boulder had the T virus in it. It had to go. All right,
that part in that game was so annoying,
so bizarre,
especially the fact that you're running from Wesker the whole time.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wesker, we've got a second meme. Go ahead and set this up, Jake.
Chris in Resident Evil 5 punches an actual boulder. You know, he's tough. Look at that. But Chris in Resident Evil 1, no Wesker, you're so mean.
He was night and day. Like I feel like they because Chris had the biggest gap in the series, right? Because he was in 1 and then he wasn't back until Code Veronica.
Yeah, like even Barry was back, and he was only back for like a cameo, basically.
Right. So I think they had a lot of time where they're like, okay, we need to make, like, we want Chris to be a staple. We want him to kind of be main character A. So they kind of redid him in Code Veronica, and then he gets back for 5, and they're like, okay, see that boulder? You can punch that boulder.
Oh, it gets
Chris. Oh, Chris was the beta in Resident Evil 1, and now he's an alpha.
Like literally, okay, hold on. If we're gonna keep bringing up Chris though, think about this. So he's not so big in Resident Evil 1. He's jacked in Resident Evil 5.
Right.
When Resident Evil 6 comes around, he's like a little smaller, but he's still kind of jacked. And then 7 comes along, and he's this little weeb. And then number 8 comes out, and he's like, totally, like he's changed like 17 different times. We need a definitive Chris, guys. Definitive Chris.
Chris is whoever Capcom wants him to be at any given point. They're like, we want you to be a little bitch.
He's playing the Christian Bale roles where he has to adjust his weight every damn game.
Yeah, we need you to be under 200 pounds. I can do that.
Chris, for 7, we're gonna need you to. Your diet's just gonna be cigarettes and apples. So, fucking get on it.
Is that when he takes a bite of the apple and then hits a puff? No.
My calorie intake for the day.
That's when he drills a hole into one end, puts a cigarette in there, takes a bite, and as he's taking the bite,
he's combining his foods. He's like, this is how I get the most out of it.
Most nutrients.
Jake, thanks for the memes. I really like that. We're gonna do the memes from now on. This is fun. We'll try to get those up in the show notes. See if that works.
Dank memes.
This has been your Dank Meme Corner. All right, to finish up the show, Josh has made a quiz.
I have made a quiz.
Josh, introduce us to this quiz.
All right,
but do it like I just hit the start button.
What's wrong with you?
How the hell am I supposed to do that?
Do it like I just hit the start button.
Quiz.
Nick, you're about to get wasted.
All right, so essentially, guys, I took 2009, part 1, so Q1, and I made a series of questions.
How many questions?
There are, I have to count again. I think I did 5, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 questions.
Are they multiple
Don't cheat,
choice?
Nick.
I don't have it up. Are they multiple choice?
I can see it in your glasses.
No, they're not multiple choice. It's gonna be whoever has the best or closest guess to it is gonna win it. I'm not gonna do this right or wrong crap. Whoever, if you get it 100%
Yeah,
right,
no raising hand bullshit.
So the way I think we should do it to make it fair is like the first question I'll answer first, the second question Jake will answer first. We'll flip flop like that, just so there's no one who's constantly cheating. You're only cheating half the time.
okay. So Nick agrees that he's gonna take the first question first.
Yep.
So Nick, are you gonna show it on the screen, or am I just gonna go down the list?
You'll just go down the list, and then
All right.
losers doing next week's speed cap,
Yep, that's correct.
and Josh.
the winner-
Josh will pick the game.
Oh, I'll put the game. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, Nick,
Oh shit! Here we go.
when does Fear 2 take place within the series?
Fuck. I want to say it's like a year after the first one.
Okay, Jake.
Fear 2 is a prequel.
Okay, but how far of a prequel, Jake? Gotta give me like a.
It's
Measurement of
3
time.
years.
Okay, so Nick is technically the closest. It's actually 30 minutes before the end of the first game.
Yay!
Stupid.
Point.
This is stupid.
Question 2. Name this Street Fighter 4 character.
Sonya.
The she was on the screen earlier. I think it's like Cypher or something like that.
I guess I technically have to give it to Jake. We're going to go based on alphabetical. This is Crimson Viper. She's one of the new characters for Street Fighter 4.
Lame. They were chasing the Angelina Jolie vibe. They were
Dude,
like, remember Mrs. and Mrs. Smith?
Give a dumb answer and still get their point.
Screw you.
I'm giving you technical. Hey, it's just making it easier, all right? All right. Question number 3, Nicholas. What Tom Clancy game claimed to be completely voice controlled?
Oh,
this
I
was
know.
this was Tom Clancy's End War.
Son of a bitch.
That Nick's got it right, so that's a point for Nick. Oh God. Okay, I've got another
Picture? What is wrong
Another-
with you?
Josh.
question. 4. Name this legendary Pokemon featured on the cover of Platinum.
It's a small picture.
That is a very small pick. It's
Hey, it's my turn.
It's
Butthole.
Jake's turn. Nick.
go ahead, Jake.
It's it starts with an S. Sphinx 4 or something like that.
I'm gonna call him Zapdos just for the alphabetical game.
Jake is closest.
What's it called?
Giratina.
You fucking
Oh.
Pokedex.
I play
Garatita.
Pokemon Go. I actually have that Pokemon in Pokemon Go.
All right, so we've got a tie. So
This
the
better not
last.
be a shitty
Oh,
question.
it's a shitty question, but you guys should be able to figure this out. You guys saw the list, so it's only fair.
Oh boy.
Fair.
Name a game from 2009 that is tied to a film.
Resident Evil.
Me
Nick's
first,
got a point.
boy.
Nick,
Me first.
there's
boy.
several. Well, so
But this is the last question.
it's the
That's
last-
not fair.
no, it was like a toss-up. So Jake, so Nick, now it's your turn. Name a movie
Name a movie. 2009.
or name a game. Sorry, not a movie. Well, yeah, I mean, they're both the
2009.
same this moment.
Fuck. Oh my god. I'm gonna guess.
Easy, Nick.
No, it's not easy. Did we talk about? Did we talk about one today?
Yes.
We talked about several.
Yes.
Was there a Sonic game?
Well, I
Actually,
mean, there is.
I think
there
there
is one
technically
in
is.
2009.
But it wasn't a movie in
Yeah.
2009, so I would have lost. I lose.
Well,
Well, Resident Evil was in 2009, was it?
I think they were.
well,
they
there
were
was
tied
like there are
together.
2 at least.
So Jake wins it on a technicality.
Okay, so for those who don't know, there was a High School Musical 3. You had Wanted. Jake was technically right with Resident Evil.
I thought Wanted was 2010 for some reason.
So
is
it had to be a movie in the same year? Is that what the thing was?
I
Yeah.
mean, technically, it didn't have to be within the same year, but there was
Oh,
a bunch,
'cause I was
there
gonna
was a
tell
bunch
Nick-
of movies.
Street Fighter. There was a dumb Street Fighter.
He technically he could have said Street Fighter. He could have.
That's why I was kind of like, yeah, we talked about it.
All right, what
Um,
game am I speed capping next week?
Oh, I would do Resident Evil. I think that'd be funny.
All right, we're gonna make do the meme punching Resident Evil 5.
I'll do it in 5 minutes.
You heard it here first, folks. Next, we'll do RE5 in 5 minutes.
So there it is. There it is. I'm doing Resident Evil 5 next week, 5-minute speed cap. Congrats, Jake, even though I think it's bullshit that you won.
Hey, I didn't make the rules.
I mean, Nick, you only had to name the movie, basically. And you said Sonic, you're like, oh, Sonic, I don't know. I'm like, well, I'm going to let it happen because Sonic is a movie, technically.
I figured you meant a movie that year. The question wasn't clear. But also, I don't have to make a speed cap, so really, I think I'm the winner at the end of it all.
I don't think at this point anybody's a winner.
Nobody wins. Everybody, this is Smashing Game Time. As always, I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter on Twitter at that Kaufman or on Twitch at NickFatKnight. Where can they find you, Jake?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, TikTok. I think that's it. OnlyFans, Fan House, Pokemon Go, yeah, G Fuel, Rust. You can find me on Rust. You can find me on Ark. Riding Dinosaur probably.
Somebody ban this man. Can we get a mod in here? Can we get a mod in here?
And he's muted.
I'm out.
Timmy, can you come in and can you mute his mic? Josh, where can the people find you? But hey, like I just pressed the start button.
Currently nowhere.
Does this guy pay you?
I'm rebranding myself. Josh is being rebranded, everyone.
Oh, God.
We're making big changes here in 2022.
So what I'm hearing is I'm Josh saying just got canceled for some shit that he said.
No, I'm Josh saying is being revamped everywhere. Like before it was a mixture of I'm Josh saying to kill the QB to Josh. No, we're rebranding everything. We're coming back to I'm Josh saying, but it's going to be the new improved I'm Josh saying.
Well,
Wait, what?
Josh, I didn't realize you had a brand to begin with.
I do. We have high quality memes where I'm from, okay? Not this punches a boulder crap from 2009.
I thought your brand was not streaming and saying you were going to.
No,
This guy's
That's the old
rebranding,
Josh.
but he has no profile picture on his Discord.
Damn. Get him.
at least mine isn't.
Change his profile picture immediately.
Hold on. Jake, what is even yours? I can't even see it. It's so small. Oh, it's
just a
Jake.
wedding photo.
It's Jake in a wedding. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I'm not even going to argue with this.
Yeah,
No, you're below the new Josh. Okay.
Jake, you
The
could
new Josh
have
is up
easily
here and you're
said
down here.
you could have easily said Jake's old logo looked like Clippy.
Oh,
That's-
could be the old
no.
Microsoft. Can I assist you? I see you're trying to make a meme. Can I assist you?
No, Clippy, get the fuck out of here. All right, everybody. So we will be back next week with Q1 of 2009. I'll be covering the speed cap for Resident Evil 5. As always, thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for his song Hunt Him Down that we used for our intro and outro. If you want to check out more of his stuff, we got a link to his SoundCloud in the show notes. Everybody, thanks for hanging out. If you haven't done so, please leave a review and leave a review and rate us 5 stars. Yes, 5 stars wherever you get your podcast. We hope you all had a smashing game time. We'll see you next time. Bye.
So long.